Hi, today I'd like to talk about ancient Chinese coins. Now I'm going to refer to a book called the Coin Atlas by Joe Cribbs. And it says here, coins were first made in China about 100 years after they'd been invented in the kingdom of Lydia in ancient Turkey. So Lydia was supposed to be the earliest coin in the world. China's coins were, however, completely different from the Lydian coins and represent a separate discovery of the idea that money could be used in the form of standard units of metal. Whereas Lydia's coins and European coins which developed from them were mainly struck with dies, that's between two sort of dies, and they would put a bit of metal in between and struck, and then the indentations on the dies went on the metal. Chinese coins were cast in moulds. Cast coins continued to be used in China until the first decades of this century. So, well, this is an old book, so it was up until about 1910 that they were starting to be changed to European style coins, as you'll see when I show you these coins. And only began to be replaced by European style coins from the 1890s. For 2,500 years, China's coinage tradition flourished and extended a strong influence on its neighbour states. Cast coins with Chinese designs were issued in Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand, and exported Chinese coins were used even further afield in India, Iran and East Africa. The earliest reference to money in China describes seashells, specifically cowries, being used for payment during the second millennium BC. By about 600 BC, cloth and bronze tools such as hoes and knives were also reported in the use of money. The invention of coins was a standardization of this kind of money. During the 6th century, a decision was made in the kingdom of Zhou in North China to make imitation hoes, the same shape but smaller than the actual tool, specifically for use as money. These small hoes, inscribed with the serial number of the responsibility worker's name as a guarantee of their correct value, were Chinese first coins. So let's have a look at some of these early coins. Now, this one, they were used in the shape of hoes, as this one you can see on the screen at the moment. And again, this one here, which is in the shape of a knife. You can see it's like a knife with a handle here, with a hole in there. They often had holes, especially later on, because of they didn't have bags as such. They would have on their garments, they'd have a belt, and so they could string these on a piece of string, as you'll see in the later coins, and hang them on their belt. So they didn't need purses or something like that. Just string them on a string and put them on their belt. So this one is from about 400 to 255 BC from the Chu Ming knife. And they would sometimes have inscriptions on here, but I think this one has been corroded away. So these are very early form of currency. Because it was currency that was being used, so they actually used the actual hoe or the actual knife before, but now they actually made little small models of them. But they represented the same thing. Then we've got a cowrie. Now, they said cowries were used as coins, so this is a little metal cowrie shell, the face on it. Now this is about 400 to 220 ghost face. You can just see the eyes, the nose there, and the mouth. And again, it's got a little hole in it, so it might have been strung along. Then we got the hoe. This was type of like a digging hoe. This has actually got characters, Chinese characters on it, very early characters. So this is about 350 BC, something like that. Anyang. If I'm saying it right. So this would be, is it just a design on the other side? Just a little small design. So in the shape of a Chinese hoe. You can see it quite well there, with the very early Chinese characters. Then we go on to this one's about 175 to 118 BC, and we got what became the traditional type of coin, these round cast coins, and they've got simple characters on just one side. I don't know if you can see that any better there. So this side it's blank. But again, they would use these holes to string them together so they could then be put onto their belts. Then go to the market or wherever. So this is about 175 to 118 BC in the Western Han. Because there were lots of different states that made up China during this period. So China wasn't unified until a little later. Here we've got one from Western Han again. Again, you've got these simple characters. There we go, it's a bit better. I think it says Wu Chu, but I'm not sure. My Chinese is not very good. So this is about 115 BC with a narrow Wu. But these being cast. Now we've got another one. This one is about 11 AD to 23 AD. You can see they've got different marks on it. Wang Mang, I think it says, something like that. But these are very early Chinese characters. Again, you can see that these have been going on for hundreds of years, even by this time. This sort of style. It's only the characters that have changed. Again, there's nothing on the other side, just one-sided. Now we go on to about 621, a bit more, I don't know if that'll focus a bit better, there we go. Focus a bit better, much more elaborate characters now. Much more looking like modern Chinese. And this is a Tang dynasty. So from about 621 to about 907. Still very plain on the other side, but there you go, nice focus. Don't know if anybody in China can read these and tell me if these is still readable in modern Chinese. And we got one with about 1100 from the Northern Song. Quite a bigger coin, this one. There we go. Again with quite elaborate characters on it. Then we go a bit further up. This is Chinese, about 16. So this is when China was unified. I think it says Chunchi. If anybody can tell me different, and you know. So this is about 644 to 645. And it's sort of same. The metal might have changed a bit. Most of these are called one cash. They tend to be sort of cash. But these have got these. Now, I'm not sure if this is the reign of Manchus, so it might be Manchurian. It looks a bit like Mongolian or something like that script here, but I think it might be Manchurian. If anybody knows, let me know, but I think that's what Manchurian looks like, because it's very similar to Mongolian with that long lettering. I think they might have been the Manchurians who held sway at the court at that time, but these are definitely Chinese characters this side. Now we go up to 1820s to 1830s. Again, these are probably recognizable Chinese characters now. But again, very similar with the same script on the back. Often I think it's got an emperor's name and where it's made from, name on there. (1875), so in the Qing dynasty. Let's have a look, see if that's. So on this side it's some Chinese. There we go. And on the other side, I think it's still got the marks of Manchurian or some other alphabet there. So 1820s, still the same. So we're talking from 200 BC right up to, that one went up to 1908. So that was right up to 1908. So that's sort of from the beginning to the end. So I'll have a look at this one here. Now this one's a bit more, it's the Japanese puppet state of East Hopi. So this is 1937. This is when Japan occupied part of northern China, northeast China. And there's Japanese puppet state of East Hopi, the Chitung Bank. So the Japanese started using Western currency because they had used very similar to Chinese currency as well, but with different markings. But this one is a Japanese occupation. I don't think there's any Japanese on this. I think it's all Chinese letterings. Can't see anything that's actual. But they do use some of the same wording. So now we're going to 1997 China. And here we have it. Modern People's Republic of China, 1997, and a very European coin. Now coins are becoming, I very rarely use coins nowadays. I tend to just use card, and lots of places they don't want coins, they just want card. So coins will soon be replaced, and it'll be very difficult to find coins. So let's have a look at the beginning and the end. So here we have the first coin like this of about 170 BC. And then you've got the other one of 1908. So just shows you there's 2,000 years there of the same looking coin. Very rare that you get this. I know England, they have pennies from Anglo-Saxon times up to today, but these are extraordinary that they've got the same shape, the same sort of look about them, and yet there's 2,000 years between the two of them. I hope that was of some interest to you, and you'll appreciate sort of Chinese coins and maybe look at investing in them because they are quite fascinating. Thank you very much. Please subscribe because that all helps, and press that like button because it all helps to show other people these sort of things. And I'll come back to you soon again with some more coins and other things of interest. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.